Welcome to the Dark Ozarks. We are discussing spooky ghost stories of the Ozarks, which you may not be familiar with. What scares you and sends shivers up your spine? What are your favorite ghost stories?
Well, tonight we're looking at ghost stories that are not as famous as some, but are oftentimes just as spooky. There's no need to resort to movies or seek out famous ghost stories across the country because ghost stories are alive and, well, dead right here in the Ozarks.
We'll get back to ghost tales, but first we want to invite you to like, follow, and subscribe to Dark Ozarks on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, as well as your favorite podcast platform. We also invite you to become a Dark Ozarks subscriber on Facebook. On the Dark Ozarks Facebook page, click subscribe, have your login information ready, and join Dark Ozarks behind the scenes for only $4.99 per month.
Your $4.99 per month subscription allows you to come with us on paranormal investigations, deep dive research, and topics too controversial for public view. The next 100 subscribers will be entered in a drawing for a free Dark Ozarks t-shirt and an exclusive signed first run copy of the book Dark Ozarks, The Spooklight. Subscribe today to be entered in the drawing. And now you can also get Dark Ozarks t-shirts for sale at darkozarks.com and paranormalsciencelab.com.
Thank you to State of the Ozarks online magazine, dedicated to preserving and celebrating Ozarks culture since 2007. Free access to hundreds of articles. Find more information about State of the Ozarks events, and be sure to sign up for the State of the Ozarks Weekly, delivered free to your inbox every Sunday night, featuring new writings and a down-home Ozark recipe in every issue.
Mark your calendars for upcoming live events coming up this weekend, October 27th, with Mysteries, Legends, and Noir History of the Ozarks at the West Plains Library, and Saturday, October 28th, at the Kendrick House, Haunted History Tour and Paranormal Investigation, and a number of other locations through December. Meet Dark Ozarks producers, Lisa and Josh, for evenings of history, legends, and the paranormal, and even visit some of the most haunted locations in the Ozarks. Details on the Dark Ozarks Facebook page, and visit paranormalsciencelab.com for tickets and more information.
We encourage you to check out Always Buying Books in Joplin, Missouri, in person and online, on Facebook and at the website alwaysbuyingbooks.com for all of your reading needs, including a large section on the paranormal, history, and more, not to mention the building's haunted. Tell Bob and Elise that we sent you.
We also want to thank Beard Engine Brewing Company in Alba, Missouri. Beard Engine Brewing is the only English-style brewery in Missouri and has been twice named Missouri's best brewery by the Missouri Brewers Association. Great beer and great food in a historical building with a noir past. And yes, their building is also haunted. Tell Nate and Tiff that we sent you.
So, ghost stories. Can't imagine.
of the Ozarks. And for me, it really comes back to Ozark Ghost Stories by Richard and Judy Dockery Young, an August House publication from 1995. This was my first introduction to region-specific ghost stories in the Ozarks, and actually bought it in 2004.
So it goes back quite a ways for you. I admit, my copy I got later than that. I've probably had it 6 or 7 years, but it is a good resource. I do encourage anyone that if you're just looking for different kind of ghost stories in the region, if you've come across a copy of it, pick it up. It's well worth it.
Very, very much so. And it's a great introduction to just a wide variety of genres of stories. And the thing that I particularly like, there are over the course of the 20th century, there have been plenty of books published or small books published dealing with Ozarks folklore. Most of them are pretty superficial. A lot of them are really geared toward the tourist, and that has its own. It is interesting in and of itself. but it is a lot less, it speaks a lot less into the culture than this particular book. And Richard and Judy Dr. Young were professional Ozarks folklorist storytellers. And Richard passed away a number of years ago. Judy is known as Aunt Judy out of Silver Dollar City and has been there for a long time. And the effort that they collectively put into not only research, but contextualize and footnote and provide source citation and a glossary, and then put it into a very user-friendly, a very readable book that functions on an academic level, it functions on a pure entertainment level, it functions on a folklore level, it also functions from a storyteller's perspective. It's a very simply accessed book, but it's doing a lot of things at once.
It is, and I think that is an important note, is the storytelling aspect, because I think we get so caught up in our electronic age of everything being just thrown at us, that, and it's all, so much of it is in different packaged formats, that the art of storytelling is even more rare and captivating when you find it, I think.
I would very much agree. And there's a number of great sections, and as a result, you have section 1, Stone Cold Favorites, that include Old Rawhead and Bloody Bones, as well as the Dumb Supper, which are great introductions to particularly Scots, Irish, and German folklore.
Mm-hmm.
You have section 2 called Boogers and Blights. That includes the Momo, Old Walleyes, the Gowrow in Marble Cave, Booger Dogs, Booger Cats. Then 3, A Twist of the Tail, which really seems to be, again, there's surprise endings. That's the commonality. Number 4, Lanterns of the Lost, including the Headless Brakeman, and then a number of stories associated with the spook light. You have Truthful Tales, like The Baby in the Back Room, and the Ghost in the Church, and then 6, Haints and Hollers, which includes probably my favorite. Well, there's a number of my favorites actually that I refer to a lot: Frozen Charlotte, The Burning Bride, the Fiddler in Farallone Cave, those being major ones. The Ghosted Virgin's Bluff is interesting because, of course, it is a retelling of the Indian princess.
Yeah.
And in this case, Virgin's Bluff is, I believe, referencing a bluff on Table Rock Lake in Stone County, Missouri. And then some references to Civil War ghosts. Ghost jokes is what we end with in section 7. And these tend to be, there's a punchline at the end. And again, it speaks into the aspect of the purpose of storytelling in many cases is to draw you in and then surprise you and mess with you, see if we can get you to believe in it on the way through. And then there's an excellent appendices, which is probably in many ways is my favorite part, because it includes a glossary, notes, and a bibliography.
Well, yeah, anytime you can actually have some research, it helps. But I am curious, if you had to pick one as a favorite, what would it be?
Not too hard. Let me just make sure that I get the title right. Using up time. I forgot what it was called. That sounds bad because I know it's. Let me see here. I'm in the long format. I might read it.
Yeah, that'd be fine. That'd be fun, Ashley.
Dumb Supper is very close.
Mhm. Yeah, of course, we talked about that not too long ago.
We went into consider Mary Calhoun. My favorite is Mary Calhoun on page 62.
I would
And
say that's a close one for me. I have to admit, I do probably think that my overall favorite is Rawhead and Bloody Bones, but
very fair, very fair. Well, we might on long format, we might share those.
that we might. So as a reminder, there'll be a longer format video up later in the week, and we ask you to check that out, as well as all the other videos that are up, and we appreciate you. In the meantime, don't forget to check out upcoming events and merchandise at darkozarts.com and paranormalsciencelab.com. Thank you again to Always Buying Books, Beard Engine Brewing Company, and State of the Ozarks for helping to bring the Dark Ozarks to everyone.
On the next episode, we are going to be discussing more of the best urban legends of the Ozarks. Catch the Dark Ozarks podcast on Branson Podcast Network, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or about any other podcast platform. Thank you, everyone. Remember, there are no easy answers.